I can provide you with a brief timeline of events as we understand them at this point. Let me start, though, by playing for you a video on how events unfolded yesterday, and then I'll explain more in more detail. The video that you'll see is the scene at the entrance to the parliamentary precinct on Elgin. You'll see individuals who seem to be recoiling westward down the street from the incidents at the memorial. You'll see shortly a vehicle pull up. This is the suspect carrying a weapon, running through the bollards and up towards the East Block. Another view of the same transaction. Again, the individual seemed to have recoiled or backed away from the disturbance at the memorial. The same entrance, different view. The circle indicates the car as it approaches. One of the pedestrians even approaches the car. As the suspect exits bearing his firearm, people run away. You'll see now the view to the East Block. He runs towards those vehicles that are parked there. The lead vehicle is a minister's vehicle that is occupied by a driver. The suspect goes around to the front of the car. There's some exchange with the driver. The vehicle backs up slightly. The driver exits the vehicle and runs away. The suspect then drives towards Center Block. It is at this point that those actions were noticed by RCMP officers. That vehicle that is moving with the door open and pursuing the suspect vehicle. So you see the green bus that goes by, one RCMP vehicle, the second RCMP vehicle, there'll be a third. You'll be able to see the suspect run into the Center Block. Our officers are in pursuit. I can tell you that as he gets to the door of the Center Block, there's an exchange of gunfire with the House of Commons security officers. Our officers back up slightly as that shooting takes place and then pursue him inside. Another view of the vehicle, the minister's vehicle approaching Center Block. You can see police officers pursuing him into the door. So now I'll go in through some a little bit more detail. Witnesses interviewed by the Ottawa Police Service reported seeing the shooter at around 9:50 coming from behind the War Memorial on the west side, where he fires twice at reservist Nathan Cirillo. The shooter is positioned on an angle behind the victim where they cannot see him coming, as they are facing south. The shooter fires one shot at the second guard, but he missed him. Witnesses heard the suspect yelling something that we don't know what it is in English, and then running towards the north. The investigation revealed that he used the beige vehicle and headed to Wellington. The first calls received via 911 were at around 9:52:36. From the National War Memorial, the suspect drove north on Wellington Street and parked his vehicle at 9:52:23 in front of the Elgin entrance, which we've just seen on the video, and you'll be able to see the slides as we go through the chronology. He accessed the grounds of Parliament Hill at 9:52:31 on foot and started running towards the East Block, where members of Parliament's vehicles were parked. At 9:53:16, video footage shows the suspect overtook one of these vehicles and drove towards Centre Block. At 9:53:37, he immobilized the vehicle on the left side of the Peace Tower and started running towards the main doors of Centre Block. At that time, RCMP vehicles on site chased the suspect to the entrance of Centre Block. The suspect entered Centre Block at 9:53:46, seconds before the RCMP officers that were chasing him were able to reach the doors. It took approximately 1 minute and 23 seconds between the time the suspect parked the beige car and then entered the Centre Block. Once inside Centre Block, the suspect engaged in a fire exchange with House of Commons security and RCMP officers. The exact details of this exchange are still under investigation. We need to recognize the courage of all the officers involved in this fluid and dangerous situation. The suspect, of course, was pronounced dead at the scene.
There is no immediate threat, but we keep an increased vigilance and we take precautions, additional precautions, to make sure that Canadians remain in security wherever they are across the country.
However, we continue to exercise increased vigilance, and we are taking extra precautions to ensure that Canadians remain safe across the country. Until we are able to fully review the current threat picture, additional security measures have been taken to increase surveillance of suspected high-risk travelers currently under investigation across the country. This is an unsettling event for all of us. Though we are calling on everyone to remain vigilant, I want to stress that you are safe. Your families are safe. It is disheartening and frightening to anyone, police included, when a senseless act of violence takes place in Canada. I would like to acknowledge the response of RCMP members, parliamentary security members, and the Ottawa police officers who rushed into a dangerous and volatile situation. We had a total of 400 resources collectively deployed to Parliament Hill yesterday. This included investigators, intelligence officers, emergency response teams, technical support, crisis negotiators, incident commanders, tactical troops, and more. I realize there will be many questions regarding the RCMP's role in protecting the parliamentary precinct. I can tell you it is certainly a challenging security environment. We must, however, balance the need to be responsive to potential threats and risks to our parliamentarians, their staff, and the general public with the freedom to allow for secure and democratic access in and around our institutions of government. En terminant,
in conclusion, I want to thank the public that has respected the perimeter, the security perimeter that was established in Ottawa's downtown yesterday, including the many other citizens that have waited for the lockdown to be lifted until the site was completely secured.
Who respected and tolerated the security perimeters established in downtown Ottawa yesterday, along with the many other citizens who patiently waited in lockdown until the scene was secure. There was a large volume of people at the scene of the incident, and it took time to process them and ensure their safety. Your cooperation was invaluable to officers who were trying to get a difficult job done under stressful circumstances. I want to acknowledge the media as well, who took time to sift through facts in order to provide timely and accurate information to the public. We understand that when such a terrible event happens, there is an appetite to know as much as possible, as soon as possible. Trust that we want to provide you this information, but we must also respect protocol regarding notifications of next of kin, along with protecting the integrity of the investigation of an incident that was still ongoing at the time. Our investigation continues and is complex in scope. We will be increasing our uniformed presence for the immediate future by adding an additional rapid response team capability. Be assured we have the right people working to accomplish the large task at hand. We ask for the public's continued patience as we continue to investigate this matter. The
tragic events that have shaken Parliament Hill can prove once again that we must all take the active measures to ensure the protection and security of every Canadian, to look at one another and stay vigilant, and that we live in a Canada that is strong and free.
All take active measures to ensure we protect the safety and security of all Canadians. Look out for each other, remain vigilant, but know that Canada remains strong and free. Stay safe.